Welcome to my channel. After a long break, I decided finally to do a page in Korean coloring book. It's called Cat Coloring Therapy by illustrator Grace G. Last time I colored in it almost 2 years ago in April. Paper here is quite thick, but it's also smooth. I think that I forgot about this particular feature. My first 2 pages in this book I colored with Prismacolor pencils and then with polychromos. Both brands behaved absolutely amazing. I loved how they blended here. But this time I decided that maybe for the background, where we have this boring wall made from bricks, I can use budget pencils and to save my more precious, more professional pencils for the central part of the image. And I decided to select a couple of colors from Starjoy Gold because there we have quite pleasant French grey and beige colors in the palette, and also a couple of cool grey colors from Coloriage set, which I don't use at all. So I was thinking that maybe it's finally time to use colors at least somewhere. Simple, boring work to do those bricks. I decided that some of the bricks I will do in this more warm yellow-gray color palette, and the rest will be simple cold gray. I did gradients, doing slightly lighter color on top of the brick and slightly darker shade on the bottom part. But when I started to color, I realized that both brands, Starjoy Gold and Colors, they are awful on this paper. I blame that pencils by itself, they are far from good, and also paper in the book is really smooth. These pencils probably could be used only on paper with good tooth. At least there they can blend a little bit. Here they didn't want to blend, they didn't want to layer, they created dirt. And they also burnished paper, covered it by wax immediately. So I realized that even if I manage to do my bricks with these pencils, on top of this layer I won't be able to put any more layers of color, and in such way to do halo of light around the garland or to do glass in the window in front of the wall, it won't be possible because these pencils, they created a very unpleasant wax layer on the paper. So during first minutes you will be able to see how I suffered a little bit with Starjoy Gold and with colors, and after that I realized that either I totally stopped to color this page or I switched to normal pencils. So in the end I totally switched to Prismacolors and to Arctics. Arctics were acceptable, again not great but much better comparing to Starjoy Gold and Colors. In the end, warm grey bricks I did using Prismacolor Seashell Pink and French Grey, and for grey bricks I simply used 30, 50 and 70% cool grey colors from Arctics. So unfortunately another book where I can't use my budget sets. I need to check again, do I have any books where I can use Starjoy Gold and Colors? Because I own them, I would love to use my budget pencils more frequently in order to save my more professional pencils, but unfortunately it wasn't the case with this beautiful book. Of course, when you start to color and when first steps are so discouraging, it's not a very good start for coloring. Usually I do a break and I return to the same page in a day or two, because I really want to color this page. It's lovely, I do love composition here, even if coloring this brick wall, it was a little bit boring. I decided that for the wall, which we can see behind the glass of the window, I will use the same pencils. I simply will use lesser pressure and I won't use so many dark colors to shade bottom part of the bricks. And in the end it worked. To finish this central part, wall and window, I used both Prismacolors and polychromoses. Polychromoses helped me to color a window frame, and Prismacolors helped me to get effects of the glass and to do bricks. So I think that for my future projects here, I will have to stay with Prismacolors and polychromoses. Maybe I will try to use Arteza. I think that Arteza can work here. I used Arteza in my other Korean book, The Day We Finally Met, and they behaved well on that paper, so maybe my next experiment will be with Arteza. But honestly, I was disappointed that it's again failed experiment with color pencils. Well, they have interesting colors, but I don't know where it's possible to use them because they totally refuse to blend and they create very unpleasant waxy feeling on the page, which doesn't allow you to use any other brands on top of them. But apart from this big surprise in the beginning of the coloring, the rest of it was quite nice. I still not totally used to the style of Grace G. I haven't decided yet, do I want to add realistic texture of fur on cats' bodies, because original art by Grace G, it was created with watercolor, so she usually doesn't add fur texture. She simply adds some stains, basic colors on the cat's bodies, and in such way it's easier to color her books. Here I tried a little bit to add texture. Maybe for the next page, if I have bigger size cat, then I will add more detailed texture. Here I also mostly worked with big areas of color. Well, at least I am pleased that I started to color in this book again, because it's really a very pleasant. I hadn't tested yet watercolor here. Unfortunately, book is double-sided, so I'm a little bit afraid to mess up with the page on the back. But when I tried to color with budget pencils, I also realized that I pressed on the pencil quite hard. I started already to damage surface of the paper with my color pencils. So maybe watercolor will be even better way to use here for the backgrounds. Or I simply need to use only Prismacolors and Polychromos pencils. If you tested any other brands in this book, I will be happy to hear your opinion. And I hope that you will like the final look of this winter page. I really love this cute composition, how family of cats sitting at a warm home looking outside for Christmas looking village. Really very nice. I try to do falling snow outside the window, and I do love how they all are hidden behind the blanket. Nice picture, and I hope that my next coloring here will be easier. And poor colors again go on the shelf. They are least frequently used pencils in my stash.